Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 2, the name with which I have forgotten.
Strangers.
Stranger.
We're already off to a great start.
Professionalism.
Already.
Just whispered to me, do you know you're hosting? And I was like, I know.
Yes.
I can totally
No.
hear me, but did you know?
I almost just said, yeah, I know I'm hosting. And no one would have known what was going on. Anyway, I'm your host, Clio, and with me, I have some people. Heather,
Hi.
Dom, and John. Or John, it's over there.
I don't trust him.
And I have a zombie.
You do.
Hey, John.
So I really like this episode.
The other side.
I thought, while terrible things did happen, I thought more terrible things were going to happen.
Was the leg loss not terrible enough for you? Or?
That's why I said
Do we have to start off with that?
did happen.
Did we have to? I'm gonna just...
Yeah.
I can't
I mean,
do it. I just...
Can I just preface real quick? Me and Chrissy, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings Saturday. Right? We went Saturday. I had also gone Thursday beforehand, and I still had leftover wings in the refrigerator. Right? And I decided that Walking Dead would be a good time to reheat them and watch them. And by the time they were ready, I was eating them during that scene.
Oh no.
Good.
And I
People taste like
continued
chicken.
to eat them.
I
They were delicious.
You know, I don't... normally, typically, the shit doesn't... I can sit here and watch the grossest shit and be like, yeah, blood and guts! This one, I can't do it right now. For the next half a year, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I almost yacked all over Steven last night. I think I gagged about 6 times in the 3-minute ending of that show.
Yeah.
There's only been one time in any show's history that I've actually almost yacked in my own mouth. And that was actually on Supernatural, and it was the bug episode when Sam was eating a burger full of maggots, and I just I almost lost my lunch on that.
This is
Eating
the
human
sticky
flesh
note.
is fine by me. Maggots, for some reason, I can't do it.
That is the sticky note that I have to keep on my desk, so that way next weekend I remember to fast forward through the end of that episode.
Okay, excellent.
That's how bad it was. I can't do it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but the whole can, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.
I was more sad that it happened to Bob.
Yeah.
Well, we will get to that. In the
Yeah.
beginning of the episode, Tara has a pretty touching moment with Rick, and eventually she tells Maggie about her involvement with the prison siege. Is her truthfulness kind of like a foil for Tyrese and Carol withholding information that could endanger the group?
Possibly.
I could see that.
I could see that.
I guess.
Because flat out, later on in the episode, you see somebody who isn't supposed to be there but is.
Yep.
And obviously that has to do with Tyrese. And
Yep.
he's hiding that. And he's withholding that. And that's going to come back and bite them in the ass.
Yeah, definitely that
Very
line is
should.
going to come back and bite him in the ass. But I also think that them not being able to talk about the girls,
Yeah.
if it comes up later, it's going to be harder
Yeah.
for a lot of them to trust
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about the girls.
Because they still
What are
haven't...
those young children we were with?
Yeah, nobody... I haven't heard anybody ask, where are the girls yet?
Better question.
Well, I think
Why the hell hasn't Maggie said a word about Beth? Did she
I
forget
think-
she has a sister?
I think everybody's just assuming
What the fuck?
that the walkers got them.
Well, yeah, exactly. That they had been lost, and that's what I got from Daryl's conversation with Carol, where she was like, "I'm not ready to talk about it. I don't want to ever talk about it."
Didn't we
Look at the fucking flowers?
But didn't we see in the first episode when they were all in the train car, Daryl explaining what happened to Beth in the train car?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah. I forget.
We were
a lot
for
of
a
stuff
second.
happened in that episode. There was explosions.
I was.
John just asked why Maggie wasn't talking about her
That's
sister.
True.
So I think Daryl
She's
explained
like, I have
it.
my husband. I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I think Daryl explained it in the front that some people took her, you know, the cross. I remember him recalling details of the
but
car.
Like, come on, like she hasn't said a word about Beth.
Yeah,
the
she
entire
heard the news
episode.
when they were in the crucible of getting out of Terminus. So I mean,
like it's
she
like
hasn't had a moment to deal with it yet.
Yes, she has. They were drinking wine in a church. She had
Okay, John.
laughing and having a
Judge
good time.
Maggie, why don't you?
I
I
am. I actually am. I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck, dude?
She did. She had some moments there, but I think she was also caught off guard with when Tara talked to her and said that she was with the governor's people.
Yeah.
And it really kind of caught Maggie off guard, and you saw she was like in deep contemplation. She didn't even say a word, did she?
Not well.
I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
she said something, but nothing really significant.
Yeah,
but like, even if it was just like a half a second where she just like looked at Glenn and said, "I miss Beth." Like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it's a fault of the character. I think it's a fault of the writers that they just are like forgot
but
or
then
something.
I
I don't know.
If she had a line in the middle, out of context, just like "I miss Beth," that's, I mean, just throwing something in there is very. Oh, I see the hand of the writer. He wants to remind us Beth is gone. It's like, you know, I think if either way, it'd be like not good. They would have had to shoehorn that line in.
I don't agree. I don't. Also, I didn't actually like that scene with Tara and Rick. I don't know why. It just felt weird.
It felt a little awkward, yeah.
It was a little awkward.
I thought it was touching.
It was just kind of weirdly put, I guess. I don't know. It was like in a weird spot. It was like the middle of the night. They just stopped, and she's like, "Hey."
No,
Hey,
wait.
you, by the way.
When Tara and Rick talked, it was during the day.
Or am I thinking of Carol and Rick?
Carol
Oh,
Rick
yeah,
was
yeah.
that night.
Yeah, that was at night.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. I stand by what I said.
Suck it, fool. Anyway, do you think that Carol's withholding the facts from Daryl because of Tyrese? Because she basically repeats what Tyrese said. Or does she really want to forget that too? I mean, obviously she.
I think Carol and Tyrese probably made a pact to lie, and they're sticking to the same story, and that's why their words are sounding identical.
Yeah.
If Carol comes out and says, "Yeah, I shot her in the head," while she was looking at the flowers, you know, they're just going to look at her and be like, "Bye," again.
Yeah.
You know, they've already.
Mean, she also did kill her sister.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Carol shot her for no reason.
And then they're gonna go, "Way to watch the kids, guys." Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't mind that they haven't told anyone, because I was just like, I don't want to see this conversation.
I think it might blow up in their face though for keeping it secret.
Probably.
And in the same token, though, do you think Rick is gonna trust Tyrese and Carol near their baby again?
That's a good question, especially since Tyrese is so, you know.
Mommy.
Yeah, Tyrese's mommy.
He's been deemed a babysitter.
Yeah, and he's like ecstatic. Like when they asked him to sit behind, did you see that grin on his face?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, wait. On that note, it was not an ask for Tyrese. Tyrese, could you stay behind and watch the baby? It was Sasha saying, Tyrese is gonna stay. Bob is coming with me.
Yeah.
She was very like.
Yeah.
You two are doing what I'm telling you to do.
But Tyrese has always been the very physical type, where he wants to get in these battles and unleash his rage and his anger. And
Tyrese?
Yeah.
Tyrese had the perfect fucking chance in the cabin. He obviously didn't take it.
Well, At the prison, right? Wasn't at the
So
prison?
pissed
Wasn't
off
he
at him.
extremely violent at the prison, or am I
No,
thinking of
Tyrese
someone else?
never wanted to be violent. He only did it because he had to, and he doesn't
Who the
want
hell
to
am
do
I
it.
thinking of then?
And
That was at the
obviously-
prison that was just beating the shit out of zombies with like their bare hands.
Oh, well, he did that when he was still very mad about the death of his girlfriend.
Yeah, so I.
And once
Okay.
he sort of came to terms with it, he didn't want to be violent anymore.
Okay.
He didn't want to have to kill zombies or people. Like we saw in the last episode, Carol made him, it was like he didn't want to kill a zombie, and she's like, "You're gonna have to," and she stabs it in the head.
Yeah. Well, because I thought the reason why he didn't beat up the guy in the cabin was because he didn't want to hurt humans. I didn't know he was swearing off walkers as well.
Well, he didn't. Obviously, he murdered those walkers with his bare hands.
Yeah.
He's getting to be okay with that, but I don't think
Whoa,
he just doesn't want to be violent.
Where did
It's
he
not
get
about
bare hands?
Hmm?
Where did he get bare hands? He didn't kill a bear.
How do you know he didn't kill a bear?
I don't
Probably
know.
could have.
I'm sure he could have. A zombie bear, nonetheless.
Yes, it happened.
But
that would be terrifying.
do we not have zombie animals? Like, is
No,
this a human
it-
virus only?
Yes.
Yeah. it
As
seems
far
like
as
one.
we've seen,
Has that been
This is
confirmed?
Resident
though?
Evil. More or
we've
less.
never
I mean,
seen
the-
a zombie animal.
Okay.
it's been years now. I mean, I think there would have been one.
Unless it mutates, it's probably a human only.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm thinking, it might, the virus in the first place might have been a biological weapon.
That's what it seems like. It seems
Well,
like that's
someone-
what they're leading
Yeah.
up to with the whole Eugene and Abraham story. Like, when you hear Eugene start to tell him about the base and the supplies and everything that's there, I'm getting more and more the impression that this was a militarized weapon.
Yeah, and
Very well could have been.
and if it was, then it was made specifically for humans. If it mutates, that's a different story.
Right.
Speaking of Abraham and Rosita for the last 2 episodes have been like, whisper, 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 things. And so
Stuff
they had a
and
secret.
things.
Was the secret the speech that Abraham gave? 'Cause that's a weird
I
secret.
believe so.
It doesn't feel
I think-
secretive enough to
not.
warrant their whispering in the corner.
No, I think it could have been because, in the first episode, he was like, "Okay, I'll talk to Rick about it later," and I mean, really, what other goddamn secret could they have? It just seems like I like the usual explanation of the simplest
How
answer
did
is usually the correct
how can-
answer.
they could
I
be
think-
Heather?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, they could be whispering about, hey, if these assholes don't want to go with us, how do we go Jimmy rig that van in the back and take it for ourselves without them knowing?
Well, they were whispering before they even
were
got
saying
to the
that
church.
last episode and before they got to the priest this episode. They were whispering,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
On one hand, I could see it being the plan because he may have been waiting for the right time to do it because as you saw, like, everybody didn't do what Abraham wanted to do. They all did what Rick wanted to do, and I think he realized that. But that moment at the church really solidified it for him that even the weakest of the people there that could be influenced stuck with Rick.
Yeah.
And no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think he realized that at that point, Rick is the one that he needs to convince, no one else. So that very well could have been it, but I feel like there's a deeper secret there. I really do.
Or maybe Abraham or Rosita know something about Eugene's plan that Eugene hasn't shared yet.
It's a strong possibility.
Yeah.
That's going to need to unfold in time.
Like some kind of additional plan to break into this super secure bunker that's gonna potentially risk lives or something.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because everyone, Rick is like, yeah, let's go, cool, yeah, and it's like, but the way they explained it, it's like, it's a bunker, medical facilities, it's got fuel, blah, blah, blah. This sounds like the CDC. And we all know how well that went.
Flawlessly went out with a bang.
Boom. But so I'm wondering if they're gonna get there and it's gonna be like the CDC. If it's like, you know,
You mean
it
one
runs on
crazy guy?
fossil fuels. It's not gonna last very long. We're all screwed.
Yeah, one
Well,
crazy guy running the whole place.
It was a little weird because it was like, well, I mean, how long has it been there, guys? Are you sure you're the first ones getting there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what if you're the way, you know, the materials and the machinery you might need to manufacture this cure, and I say that word loosely, is like destroyed, some asshole just went out with a pipe wrench.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
And if this is like a military base, I mean, I don't think Eugene's got any sort of clearance or any sort of idea
he's
of
gonna
how
be
to
like,
get into
excuse me,
something like
sir, I have plenty of clout. This card says so.
I mean, he was in the scientific loop of what was happening with the virus and everything, but I don't know if he'll even be able to get in.
He'll walk up to the door and they'll shoot him before he gets there.
John, that's almost a spot-on Eugene impression.
I've been practicing.
And
not only
in front of
that-
a mirror, you know, with a recorder or something, playing it back for you.
No. Just took 2 seconds.
Just now.
Just like, yeah, I rehearsed it about 3 seconds before I did that. It was great. But then he's just going to be like, my mullet's very sick. You should let us all in. And
What
they'd be
if-
like, you know what? Yeah, no, that's a sick mullet. Get in here.
Yeah, Sigma, get in here.
What if the cure? What if the cure is Eugene's DNA?
He will have...
Like, what if? Maybe not the cure itself, but what if like his blood is needed? I know we were in a discussion about an immunity.
Oh,
That's not what I'm
blood.
talking about. But like,
That's a lot better. I was gonna
his
say.
blood or DNA or something like that is required to access the protocol, like as a security system. If he worked on the virus, that is.
Yeah.
Well, the way he talked about it made it seem like he didn't work on the virus, but he knew all the steps involved in the virus.
Right.
He
So
knew how to change it.
he seems
At least
like
whatever
maybe he was the mastermind as opposed to the engineer.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, he might have unwittingly been like, hey, this is an idea, and someone took it and used it as a biological weapon.
Because the way he was talking about how, what was it, last episode, where he was saying that even if he gave you step-by-step instructions, you wouldn't be able to do it. So,
I'm still saying it's because he's lying through his fucking teeth.
I don't know.
The thought has crossed my mind
I
several times.
I think he's the key to it. I
know
think
what?
his physical body is required for it.
I'm gonna go
Well,
off.
obviously his mind is required,
Mhm.
and he can't. There's no way for him to pass that knowledge over to anyone else. And even if he did, like he said, they wouldn't be able to make heads or tails of it.
Hmm.
So, either way, he is physically needed to do this in whatever space or capacity that it's needed to be done in.
Right.
I want to start a new campaign. It's the Get Eugene Laid campaign. No matter what the cost.
Michonne.
Yeah, no.
If it was the comic books,
No.
If it was the comics books, Michonne would have been all over that already.
Oh, yeah. But
Anyway.
still.
Can we call the comic books, or do we have to go by its technical name, the graphic novel?
I got reprimanded for calling a graphic novel a comic before. So
Fuck. Oh, God.
Michonne definitely would have been all
Back
over
off,
that.
nerds.
oh no, I think it was the other way around, but whatever. So Carl begs the group to go help Gabriel when he's screaming in the woods. This is sort of like what Glenn was saying last episode. Like, we need to be us. We need to be what makes us us and not them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Carl. He's doing good now.
Yeah,
So proud
Yeah.
of the boy. He's making good decisions.
he's had a lot of very
He's-
traumatic things happen to him recently.
Yeah, he's cooking on gas now. He kind of, I don't know. I think he's like, Dad, you're such a dick. Come on, help him. Like, what is wrong with you? It's like there's no risk to us helping you.
I mean,
Like,
you
there's
even.
5 zombies on a rock.
I mean, he was even the first one to take a shot. Like, Carl was the first one to fire off
Right.
Yeah.
the weapon. Then you saw him when they were scouting around. He didn't just sit inside. Like, not that he's ever stayed in the house, but like he was prying around, looking through the windows, you know, stuff that, like, Rick is even looking at. He's like, what the hell are you looking at? Like, something Rick didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl went into detective mode.
Yeah.
It's the hat channels.
It's definitely the hat.
Channel's Batman.
And I love when they rescue Gabriel, and the whole group is just like, you don't have a weapon? What? Like, they all stare at him for a good minute. Like, in awe of just how terrible he is.
Yeah.
My weapon is Jesus.
Jesus. That's literally what he says. I asked for help and I got it. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, sure, because we didn't do anything.
Good one, JC. High five.
Good job.
Yeah.
So, he's been holed up in the church for 5 years, I guess, living off donations, writing the Bible by hand. Why have no walkers come to the church? Because there are no walkers in the vicinity of the church.
Because he's lying.
He's lying?
He's lying.
He puts salt down on the ground. They can't go through.
He's lying through his fucking teeth. You saw the way he was holding that picture of his goddamn whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, he's keeping a secret, and I think it has to do with Beth.
I think so, too.
It's not. It might not be Beth. I think it's somebody else.
I mean, I don't think he's the one that has Beth, but I think he's running a multi-person operation.
I think he knows where she is.
He could even possibly be working with the cannibals.
Interesting.
I'm going to go with the cannibals because of the picture that he was holding and what timing it had. Like, what else was going on in the show when they were showing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a lot of flashes between the cannibals and him holding that picture and then praying. And
well,
he was obvious.
A lot of flashes between that in that scene. The contrast was supposed to be everyone at the church versus everyone at the termite camp.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody and everybody at the church, the normal group, has a very strong connection to the termites already because that's who they're after. So, I mean, everybody that they flashed to had some kind of connection to the termites.
Well,
it's not like they went flashing out to Morgan, who's walking around in the woods. Now, if they'd flashed to Morgan, who's out in the woods somewhere, I'd be like, okay, so they're just showing everybody who's involved right now. But they did it.
I know what you're saying. But from a filmmaking standpoint, that juxtaposition was supposed to be everyone's having fun while Bob is being eaten.
Well, they were having fun, but Bob wasn't. So.
And neither was the priest.
Bob was having a lot of fun up until he realized his leg was missing.
The priest saw the zombie of the lady he was banging before.
The lady. Listen, priests need loving too.
I want to know what's up with the little kid like crayon drawings of like burning trees and.
That's all passages from the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a burning bush, but a burning tree, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was like supposed to be a small tree, small bushy tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then that kind of leads me to think that does that have something to do with the fact that "You'll burn for this" is written on the side of his church?
Maybe. I do have a theory about that.
Is that a thing?
I think because what I got out of that was sort of, maybe he hasn't killed anyone, but maybe he let a lot of people die. Maybe he closed the church and like didn't let people.
Yeah.
I mean, because he was afraid. So maybe people carved that in as they were being chased by walkers.
I mean, his church is pretty small though, and it seems like it's fairly like off the beaten path. So I don't even know. Like, I would imagine at least one or two other people would be there, but I guess I'm not too surprised that there wasn't like a massive like congregation either. You know. So
what I want to know is the symbols that are carved. Like we saw them the end of last episode, and then we see like part of them. Like there was like a single line on the tree right where Bob was taken. Right?
Did anybody?
They zoom in on it. They show you that there's a mark there, but it's not.
They spent some time on it.
It's not so there's the line, and then the mark that was on the episode last week was the line, but an X through it and a circle around that, right?
Was it a line? I thought it was just an X with a circle.
It was just an X.
Was
just an X and a circle.
Okay, so then what is the line?
It means Bob goes here.
Did anybody else notice on the end of the season premiere, the guy that came busting out of the cart container, whatever the fuck you want to call it? If you look at his forehead, he has the same mark tattooed into his forehead, into the side of his temple, right at his hairline.
So
Oh, good for you.
maybe
If
maybe there's
nobody
a
else
cult.
thought that.
Maybe there's a cult of some sort going on.
Maybe. Because he does
Cult
have
of
that.
personality.
And that was the man who was raping everybody and that the termites fought up against.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that could be a thing.
That's my 2
Yeah,
cents. I'm done.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, there could be something as
yeah.
as simple as like the preacher. What was his name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Could be trading people that come into the church for supplies. Like he said that he's gone and pillaged things or whatever. So like he could have been the one that kidnapped Beth. Or his henchmen, so to
His
speak.
lackeys.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was going to say, we saw the car that kidnapped Beth in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody else was driving it.
Yep.
And from the previews, from the beginning of the season, when they showed the season previews, we know Beth is with a woman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like the one person we know is with her.
Yeah. So it could be the preacher's wife. If that guy even is a preacher, he could have just...
Well, depends on the denomination. Some are allowed to have wives, some aren't.
Yeah, that's true too.
So if he's a pastor, then he's allowed to have a wife. If he's a priest, he's not allowed to have a wife.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that even depends.
And I don't know
though.
the...
Some religions will allow a priest to take a wife. So, I don't know. It depends on what denomination he is.
Yeah.
Or if he even gives a shit because the world
Usually-
ended, so...
Yeah, sure. But usually if it's called a priest, you're celibate. If you're called a pastor, you're allowed to have a wife. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he was eating celery.
Oh, I just looked up a picture of the tattoo guy. It's just like a square on his forehead and then words. There's no...
No,
X.
not his forehead. His temple. Side of his head.
I can't see. He's got hair.
Yeah, if you add, there's actually a scene that's been frozen and blown up, and it zooms in right on it. You have to find it.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Movie pilot.
Anyway. So,
What about
lost my
Michonne?
place. Well, actually, we've been jumping around, so maybe...
What about Michonne? Like, the fact that she wasn't using her sword anymore?
Well,
She
she
doesn't
lost
have
her
it.
sword. She
Right.
didn't get it back when they left.
Right, but it's
She's
just
so-
like she seemed comfortable with that.
She's so not as cool.
Yeah, she
Well,
doesn't
she
care.
reached for it and she was like, just beat it to death with the end of her rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says that the sword is connected to how she used to live.
I don't like that.
I know! Have we lost the samurai forever?
She's not
I
as
hope
cool.
not.
Yeah.
I hope not. I really,
Like-
really hope not. Maybe for like a season, but I think we'll get her back.
Yeah.
Something will drive
I
her
linked the
and get her
picture in
back.
the chat if you guys want to
Thank you.
say.
Is that it? Did you just get it? Because I just brought it up too.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Sorry. Didn't mean to go off topic again.
Oh,
But-
look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
See? I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
No,
Not
I
always.
was just looking myself at the picture I got.
I might not always know what the fuck I'm talking about. I might not know names very well, but I know tattoos on faces. I could tell you the stupid little details of shit, but I can't tell you the obvious shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's right there.
So,
He looks very happy.
he does. He's a very level-headed fella.
I think Rick is contemplating going in for a kiss.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
That's totally what's happening there.
He just says, "Kiss me," and Rick goes, "No, yes."
But yeah, no, that mark was definitely on that guy's temple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about? Is it Bob who was leaving the marks? Do you think Bob might have been leaving the marks? Because when they were on the trough, Bob was talking to Gareth like he knew him, and Gareth knows Bob's name. Do you think he made a deal and said, "Okay, I'll leave these marks as we leave if we leave"? Or
Well, we know that Bob went in separate from Rick's group, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm under the impression that he was not in the in the trailer initially when Rick came in.
He was.
He was
because
in the
at the
trailer
end of-
already. I
Yeah.
don't.
Mhm.
Well, he might have just known his name because they were spending some time with them before they were put in the trailer, so they might have
Right.
just introduced themselves.
What I think is
Oh, that's that,
something
You're right.
probably happened with
You know.
Bob and that group before Rick got there then, which
Yeah,
led him
I mean,
to
I feel
bring
like
him
he was
into that
trying to
trailer.
negotiate.
Yeah, and it seemed like that's what he was trying to do in the first episode too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And remember,
Yeah.
because he took the gag out of Bob's mouth, and Bob was pleading. So there's a little more to Bob and that guy than we know, and we don't typically see flashbacks on the show, but I don't think they're out of the question either.
Well, we did see flashbacks last episode.
Right, and they said that
The
that was
then
kind of a
and the
contained
now.
incident.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
they might be used in this season a couple times just to be like, here's some
Right.
context.
Yep.
So we might
Hey,
get
can
another.
we flash back to when we talked about the flashbacks? Like, now? Video editing's going to happen here. That's what's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly John, I'm the only
Anyway.
one.
Oh, yeah. Well.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, at least Bob tastes good.
I was actually going to say... Well, I wanted to talk about before we get to the Herschel treatment. He walked outside to cry, and that was really sad.
I honestly
Well,
thought
that's-
that when the walker jumped up at him in the water that he got bit and he wasn't telling anybody.
Yes, me too.
Like that's
I didn't think
legit
that.
what I was thinking.
But I don't
Those
think-
water zombies, though, just
If you-
side tangent real quick. Those water zombies were
They
pretty
were
crazy.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they
they're
knock
awesome.
the shelf over, I'm like, no, don't do that. Someone's gonna get bit. Don't do that.
As soon as I saw the bubbles, I was like, "Oh no, goodbye, Bob."
Well, you see,
They
I don't
keep
think he
almost
went
killing him.
outside just to cry. Because if he just had to cry, why wouldn't you just go to another room? You're in a
Because he
zombie
wanted to be
apocalypse.
privacy.
Go outside.
Yeah.
That's why I think he was leaving the marks.
Yeah. We have Sarah in chat is actually saying, so the circle with the X through it is the celestial symbol for Earth in a lot of places. So, could be like a group of hippies or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, rampaging zombie hippies. Have you ever heard of something so
Cannibal hippies.
disgusting?
Cannibal hippies?
Yeah.
Could be, but we don't know for sure if the marks and the cannibals are connected.
No, you're right. We don't.
No.
And I'm under the impression that
and-
they're not.
But I don't think they are. I think they're going to go towards something completely different because, I mean, just their placement and everything.
I think they're more
We
tied
would've-
to the church than anything because that was
Yeah,
the
we would've-
direction that Rick's group headed in toward.
We would have seen more of those symbols in the termite camp if
Yeah.
it was the termites. You know, the only thing we have is a couple of sketches on a tree. If you guys ever actually go back and look at Morgan's apartment from season 3, I think that's when they went in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you go into his apartment and look at the chalkboard map that he's got, there are circles with those X's on the map drawn in as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
that
Oh,
was-
so those could be areas
Yeah.
that Morgan has scouted out and checked, and he's
Right.
creating like a map
Right.
for himself.
Yeah.
right,
that
and
was
it just
simple
so
and clear.
happens. It just so happens that they match up with the thing on the side of the guy's head and the symbol on the back of the car. Just so happens, coincidence.
Well, the symbol
But-
on the back
Well,
of the car is a
That was a
cross.
cross.
Well,
Yeah.
It's not that X.
I want to see somebody
Yeah,
go to a
it's the-
tree and carve a perfect cross with a circle around it.
No, but the
Yeah,
the marks
they
on the
weren't trying to
trees
make a
are
cross.
purposefully X's, not. you know,
I'm just saying in general.
okay.
know.
But they're
Yeah,
there's
I
no
don't-
line
I don't
up
think
now,
so.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, the one on the car is clearly a cross, and the one on the trees are clearly an
Cross.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was someone stalking
But,
the camp. Was it the termites or was it Morgan? What do you guys think?
I think it's Morgan.
I think it's Morgan.
I
Morgan's
think it
close
was
by.
Morgan.
But Morgan, what's
Wow, we
Morgan
all
gonna
agree on
do?
something. Yay!
But I mean, it could very well also be the preacher's lackeys if he has one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And for all we know,
I
maybe
think it's
Morgan is one of his lackeys.
He is hiding something, but I don't think he's lying. I think he really
He's
is.
lying by omission.
Yes. I think he is really incompetent, and I don't think he's, he hasn't survived by his skills. He's survived by dumb luck.
Mm.
The grace of God.
The grace of God.
Or the help of others.
Hallelujah.
Or D, all of the above.
But yeah, I don't want to skip over this. Why was Bob crying? I think I know why.
Why?
Because he's too busy trying to make sure everyone's happy, and it wears him out. So he ends up having to let it out somewhere, and it's really sad that he couldn't do that in front of other people.
See, I think it was
That's
the
what I
fact that he almost died on the trip, and the thought of him finally being happy and having someone to share his happiness with really just like hit him emotionally.
Yeah, I think my theory is that he's the one who was writing the X's on the trees, and I think that he was regretting that. Yes, of course, obviously, he did almost just die, so that's a factor. But I think he's regretting leaving a trail for the termites to find them.
I really doubt that. I don't think he would do that.
Then it's very coincidental that he picked the tree that a half-carved symbol was on.
I'm pretty sure, because someone clubbed him. That could have just been something bouncing off the tree that they swung at him with. That's what I thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah, but they zoom in on it and stay there for way too long for it to just be a...
Yeah, but that was also a straight line. That isn't the X.
It was a horizontal line. Yeah, it's not an X.
Yeah.
So I don't...
Well, the X is...
I don't see a connection.
I know. I'm just saying, it's my theory. Y'all don't have to agree with me. You got anything else to say about this episode?
Okay, then.
We need more Morgan.
We do.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's coming.
I hope he's coming for like a major role and not like a one episode thing.
He's a fan favorite. I have a feeling that he's going to be playing a bigger part
of it.
Meat sticks.
Meat sticks. Sorry, I was looking for the synopsis for next episode, and meat sticks happened.
Meat sticks.
Excellent.
Excellent. Once I found the synopsis, do you have anything else to say? Any more predictions? Anything else?
I'm going to fill in this downtime with words that mean literally nothing. Watch me go.
Filler text.
I'm watching.
Did it. Actually... Oh, are you ready? Because I don't want to start talking.
Go.
And then, this is kind of stupid, but when they first jumped into that pit of the water, and that zombie lady with the glass, I didn't realize.
Oh yeah.
The zombie lady with the glasses on was important to him, and it literally took me till I watched The Talking Dead, and then I was like, oh, she's the picture.
Yeah.
I
don't
know why. I just didn't see that at all.
But it's what exactly? Why was she important to him?
Yeah.
Because he boinked her, and he's a priest. He's not supposed to.
What was she doing in a hole?
He threw her down there.
I think she was I feel like she was probably the organ player, because they took the picture in front of the organ. It looked like.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they weren't boinking, but they were probably close friends at least.
But
could be
or something.
She worked for the place where they donate that the church donates the food. So.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Anyway,
whatever.
I was just I am an ignorant fool. I didn't notice.
Wow, is that really a synopsis? I looked for so long to find the shittiest synopsis I've ever read.
Well, I mean, it's a Walking Dead. The group is find zombies, get scared, Rick.
Yeah.
There,
anyway.
I found it. See how close I was.
Episode 3, 4 walls and a roof. Rick and the others find themselves pitted against a group of nasty people.
Oh.
That's it. That's all there is.
Great.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, AMC.
Which group of nasty people do you think it is? Do you think it's the termites again, or do you think it's a whole new group?
It's the termites. They're
It's
gonna
the hippies.
I hope
they're
it's a
gonna
whole
wrap
group.
up this termite shit before
Because,
they.
I mean, we've got
Well,
it.
all they need to do is call the exterminator Carol in again, and she'll
I
take
know,
them all
right?
out. That's what I'm calling Carol from now on, the exterminator.
It's just gonna be
People
her
of
with a can of
termite.
Raid and a lighter in front of it.
People, Terminus, look at the flowers.
Look at
All
the
the
flowers, guys.
Look at all the flowers.
That's actually my desktop background right now.
I wish.
Honestly, I'm kind of pushing her and John Goodman's character together from friggin' Big Lebowski. Doesn't anyone look at the goddamn flowers anymore?
I see. Now I wish that Bob was bitten. Because if Bob was bitten and had, like, the zombie infection spreading through them, and then they ate it, that would be amazing.
Yeah, especially if it worked that way.
Really cool.
Yeah.
We don't know if it would work that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be pretty rad though.
Yeah, that's the next episode. I think it's gonna be the other group because we're closing in on seeing Beth soon.
Right.
We're supposed to see her within the next
Yay, I
2 or
miss
3
Beth.
episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And her moonshine drinking ass. Heather, where can the people find you? Drinking
Everywhere.
moonshine.
I don't have moonshine. I have like an empty can of Monster now. I'm so sad now. I've got a Twitter OLARIS_RHEA.
Dom, where can people find you?
Find me down below at Phenomadom. PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at No More No More, and I'm tweeting a dick pic right now.
Every time we do an episode, John will tweet a dick pic.
Which dick is it this time?
It's a promise.
It's
You have to see.
It's Dick
I
Grayson
can't tell
again.
you.
You have to
No.
go to No More to see. Go follow it. And you can
You
find
have to
me
go
at
find it.
Clio
I
Moto.
can't help.
If you go follow me on Pinterest and I reach 100 followers, I'm gonna do a giveaway. It's funny.
And the giveaway's me.
Since I started saying that, I actually lost a follower. So
Nice.
They don't want
Nice.
me, that's why. You're like, I'm gonna give you my voice.
I don't want your free stuff.
No.
they don't want my
No.
free stuff. It's okay.
It's like
And you can find all of us more at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Gmail, all the things, and right here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, guys.
See you later.
Yay!
I love this music. Don't you guys love it?
Tasted good.
Doesn't this song sound great?
Oh, it feels so good in my
It
ears.
does.
Oh yeah, you guys can't hear it.
He likes it inside of him.